We're on. Shabbat Shalom, everybody. Shabbat Shalom. Merachoku Mikarov, from those far away, those close to us. For those of you who aren't here in person, before we went on Zoom, I was explaining that 2 weeks from right now, Rosh Hashanah will be over. So it's weird to say it that way. It's not something I'm looking forward to. I actually love Rosh Hashanah. It's going to be a great time. We'll do the announcements at the end, but just a reminder that Rosh Hashanah is Wednesday night, Thursday morning, and Friday morning here. Wednesday night, I believe it's at 5:30. I don't think so. I thought it was later. But Shabbat morning, it's going to be at 10 a.m. Thursday and Friday, 10 a.m. I believe. Fran, am I right? On Thursday and Friday? Fran agrees? All right, great. And we've got a couple of people who have agreed to read Torah, so it's very exciting. And if you are interested in reading Torah, I have all of the aliyot online that you can listen to available for Rosh Hashanah if you want to learn it from a recording. But that's then. This is now. Tonight, we're here to celebrate Shabbat. We're going to celebrate Shabbat together. We're going to sing, as I did so hurriedly about an hour ago. We're going to sing Shalom Aleichem on page 13. I sang it hurriedly with my family because I needed to come here. So. Shalom Aleichem, Malachei Hasharei, Malachei Elyon. Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Boachem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim Kadosh Baruch Hu. Barchuni l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. Mi Melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Tzedchem l'shalom, Malachei Hashalom, Malachei Elyon. V'melech Malchei Hamlachim HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The sun on the treetops no longer is seen. Come, let us welcome Shabbat, the true queen. Behold her descending, the holy, the blessed, and with her God's angels of peace and of rest. Come now, dear queen, with us abide. Come now, Shabbat, our bride. Shalom Aleichem, angels of peace. We turn now to page 14 for Yedid Nefesh. Yedid Nefesh, Av Harachaman, Meshoch Avdach, El Ritzonach, Yarutz Avdach Kemo Ayal, Yishtachaver El Mu'adarach, Yeravlo Yedidutach, Minofet Suf Vechol Ta'am, Hadur Na'eziv Ha'olam, Nafshi Cholat Ahavatach, Hanael Narefanala, Beharot Lo Noam Zivach, Az Tidchazek Vetitrafe, Vehaita Alach Shivchat Olam, Vatik Yehemuna Rachamecha V'chusana Al Beinahuach Ki Zekomo Nichsaf Lirop Tiferet Uzach Anaili Mahmad Libi Vechushanab Ve'alti Talam Higalena Ufros Habibi Alai Etzukat Shelomach Ta'ir Eretz Mikevodach Nagila V'nismechavach Maher Ahuv Kiva Moed V'choneni Ki Me'olam Yada nai 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 nai, yada dai 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 dai, yada dai 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 dai, ay nai 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 nai, yada nai 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 nai, yada nai 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 nai, yada nai 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 nai, ay nai 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 nai, yada nai 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 nai, yada nai 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 nai, yada nai 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 nai. Yedid Nefesh is such a beautiful poem, a beautiful declaration of love that we're not going to read all of the words, but just to get a little bit of the flavor of it, just soulmate, loving God, compassion's gentle source, take my disposition and shape it to your will, right? And then later on, how splendid is your light illumining the world. My soul is weary, yearning for your love's delight. Reveal yourself, beloved, for all the world to see, and shelter me in peace beneath your canopy. Illumine all creation, lighting up the earth. The time, my love, is now. Rush, be quick, be bold. Let your favor grace me in the spirit days of old. It's just such a beautiful declaration of love between God and the Jewish people. And because the holidays are coming, it's important to remember that part of it, that love, right? We'll have a lot of liturgy that's going to talk about fear and talk about judgment and talk about, our own personal failings and our own fragility, but just to hold on to that love also between God and the Jewish people and God and all of God's creations is important. We turn now to page 15 for Psalm 95, L'chun Ranana. L'chun Ranana L'Adonai Nariya Litzur Yishenu Nikad Mafanav Bitoda Bizmirot Nariya Lo. Arba'im, I'm 3 lines from the bottom on page 15. Arba'im shana akut bedor va'omar am to'e levavhem vehem lo yadu derachai asher nishbati be'api im yivaun el menuchati. Page 16. Shiru Ladonai, Shir Chadash, Shiru Ladonai, Kol Haaretz, Shiru Ladonai, Bachru Shemo, Basru Meyom Leyom Yeshuato, Sapru Vagoyim Kevodo, Bechol Ha'amim Niflaotav. Ki gadol Adonai umilal meod norahu al kol Elohim ay 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 nai 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 nai, yai nai nai nai, yai nai 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 nai, yai nai nai, yai nai nai, yai nai nai nai, yai nai 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 nai, yai nai nai nai, yai dai dai, yai nai nai, ai nai nai nai, yai dai dai, ai nai nai, yai nai 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 nai, yai nai 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 nai. Yai, yai, nai, nai. Yai, 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 yai. Hi, yai, yai, yai. Yai, 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 nai. We're on page 17. Let's read responsibly in English on page 17. Adonai is sovereign. Let the world rejoice. Thank you. God's lightning illumines the earth. Fire consumes God's foes. Mountains melt like wax before Adonai. The earth trembles. Shame covers those who worship idols, those who take pride in revering images which much themselves bow low before God. You are supreme over all the earth, highly exalted beyond all that is worshipped. Hate evil. God protects the faithful and saves them from the wicked. Light is stored for the righteous, joy for the honorable. Rejoice in Adonai, you who are righteous. Acclaim the holiness of God's name. Or zaru ala tzadik u'lishalev simcha. Simchu tzadikim b'Adonai v'hodu lezecher kodsho. We turn now to page 20 from Mizmor LeDavid, a Psalm of David. It's traditional to stand during the recitation of the Psalm. If it's a difficulty, stand as you're able. Mizmor LeDavid, havu l'Adonai b'nei elim, havu l'Adonai kavod va'oz, havu l'Adonai kevod shemo, ishtachavu l'Adonai behadrat kodesh. Kol Adonai al hamayim el kavod hirim. Adonai al mayim rabim. Kol Adonai Bakoach, ay, kol Adonai behadar, kol Adonai shover harazim, vayishaber Adonai et arzei alvanon, vayarkidem kemo egel Levanon, vesirion, Kemo ben re'emim, ay, nai, 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 yai, dai, 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 ya, na, 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 nai, ya, nai, 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 ya, nai, 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 nai. You may be seated. We turn now to page 21, L'chadodi. L'chadodi, l'chadodi, likrat kal penei Shabbat nekabela shamor v'zachor b'dibur echad hishmi'anu El Hamyuchad Adonai Echad Ushemo Echad L'Shem Multiferet Ve'letihila Lechadodi Likrat Kala Penei Shabbat nekabela likrat Shabbat lechu v'nelcha ki mekor haberacha merosh mikedem nesu chasof maseh b'machshava techila lecha dodi. Likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela mikdash melech ir melucha kumi tzei mitocha hafecha rav lach shevet b'yemeka bacha v'hu yachamol Alaychem lecha dodi, likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela. Yum. Lecha dodi likrat kala pene Shabbat nekabela hitna ari me'afarku milivshi bigdei tifkartecha mi al yad beini shai beit halach mikarva el nafshi ge'ala lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela hitoreri kiva orech kumi uri shir daberi kivod Adonai alayich nigla lecha dodi likrat kala Pnei Shabbat nekabela. Let's think. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. Lo tevoshi no. Wow. Lo tevoshi ve'lo tikami ma tishtachachi umatemi bach yechasu aniyei ami v'nivneta ir al tila lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela והיו למשיסה שוסייך ורחקו כל מבלייך יסיס עלייך אלוהייך כמסות חתן על כלה לך דודי לקראת כלה פני שבת נקבלה לך דודי לקראת כלה Pnei Shabbat nekabela, yaminu smol tifrotzi, v'et Adonai ta'aritzi, al yad ish ben partzi, v'nismecha v'nagila, lecha dodi likrat kala, Pnei Shabbat nekabela, Lecha dodi likrat kala, pnei Shabbat nekabela. Please rise as we face the doors and welcome the Shabbat bride, the Shabbat queen. Boi v'shalom ateret ba'ala, gam b'simcha u'b'tzahala, toch emunei am segula, boi. Lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela lecha dodi likrat kala pnei Shabbat nekabela. You may be seated. We turn to page 23 for Psalm 92, a psalm for Shabbat. Mizmor shir leyom haShabbat. להודות לאדוני ולזמר לשמך עליון ולזמר לשמך עליון. Yeah, there's like interference. Yeah. Check, da-da-dum, bum, bum. Yeah, that's not the like the whatever that was. Yeah, good. Okay. We're 4 lines from the bottom on page 23. Tzadikata hamar yifrach ke'erez bavanon yisgeh shetulim beveit Adonai bechatzrot Eloheinu yafrichu. Od yenuvun beseva deshenim verananim yehu lehagid ki ashar Adonai tzuri velo avlatabo. Good Shabbos. Shabbat Shalom. I was thinking this week, when I was looking at the Parsha, I was thinking of a movie. I think of a lot of movies. I like movies. I was thinking of the movie Saving Private Ryan, which, by the way, as an aside, was robbed for Best Picture. Utterly robbed. It did not win Best Picture. Instead, Shakespeare loved it. Whatever. Not going to get into that. But so for those of you that may not know, the setup for the movie is this group of people go to save this one person. Is basically what it is. And people die along the way. And a number of people die in order to save this one person. And once he's found, sorry, spoiler alert. Once he's rescued, Tom Hanks, as captain, says, the final thing he says is, earn this. Earn the sacrifice. He doesn't go on. He doesn't elaborate, but it's very clear from the context that what he means is earn the sacrifice that was made for you. Earn it. Make good of your life. Make something of your life so that all that these people sacrificed will be for a good cause. And I was thinking about that as I was thinking about this week's Parsha, which it says, it's Parshat Kitavo el haaretz asher, when you enter the land that God is giving you as an inheritance, and you possess it and settle it. A nachala is an inheritance. That's the word used in the Torah. An inheritance, something we get from God, a gift, right? A gift based not on what we've done, right? But based on who our ancestors were. That's what an inheritance is. I did nothing to merit an inheritance other than be born lucky, right? What's that expression? This person was born on third base, right? Unless it's Shohei, then he was born hitting. Right? As Jews, right? What is it? What do you have to do in order to be Jewish? If you're born Jewish, nothing, right? But God is saying to the Israelites, as they're getting ready to enter the land, earn this, right? We go to this land that I will show you, and I will give it to you as an inheritance. We settle on it, we possess it, but it's an inheritance. We did nothing. It's not ours. To whom does the land really belong? God, right? This goes back. We've seen laws in the Torah where it says every 7 years you're not supposed to tend your crops and you're supposed to let them lay, as the Torah says, fallow, right? You don't pick the fruits every 7 years to reiterate the idea that you are not the owner, right? And in Breshit, going all the way back to Genesis, it says, be a caretaker for this land, for this planet. I mean, we're doing a bang-up job being caretakers for this planet, let me tell you. But maybe, and it says when you settle on it, when you possess it. When I think of that word possession, right? It says, and you possess it and settle in it. Maybe I'm splitting hairs, but I think that possess is different than own, right? You may possess certain things, and then you possess them by having them literally in your possession, right? And I remember when I was a kid, when somebody would find something, possession is 9/10 of the law, right? Finders keepers is basically, but it's not ownership, right? I can have something, I can possess something, but I can always give it back, right? In a couple of weeks, we're going to read about all of the things we're eventually going to have to give back, including ourselves. Right? And this land of Israel, the Asher Kitavo al Aretz, when I bring you to this land is no exception. We will possess it, but we don't own it. To this day, you don't own land in Israel. You lease it for 99 years. Right? You shall take, and this is what we say. When God is saying, when you come to this land, you shall take some of every first fruit of the soil and put it in a basket and go to the place where God will choose to establish the divine name. Take some of every first fruit, the bikurim, right? It's an intentional, if you think about sometimes the way we eat, the way we relate to our food, it can be mindless, right? There's no better example than if you're watching TV and you've got a bag of chips next to you, or ice cream, or whatever your own personal temptation is. But this is saying, take your first fruit, look at it, and don't eat it. Give it to God, right? And that's, by the way, what we're told that every time we eat, without making a bracha, without making a blessing before we eat, it's like we're stealing, right? Without taking a moment to be mindful of this gift, this nachala, this inheritance of this food, right? What did I do to eat the apple I have? I paid for it. Great. I didn't grow it. I didn't go to Honeycrisp Land or Fujiville or wherever your apples are from, right? I didn't pick it. I didn't feed. I didn't tend the land. I didn't take care of the trees, but I get to eat it. And this is saying have an intentional relationship, right? Kashrut. Kashrut, the entirety of kashrut is a food ethic, right? Is thinking about food, is taking food, which is something we need to live, and raising it to the level of holiness, right? We do that with everything. We do that. What is it I'm going to do in a few minutes? What's it called? Kiddush. I'm taking very ordinary, if substandard, no offense to Manischewitz, and I'm elevating, no, Kedem, no, Manischewitz. But we're elevating it, right? We are, one of my favorite lines is from a book called The Spirituality of Imperfection, that says we are less than gods and more than beasts, and yet somehow both. And this relationship to our food gives us an opportunity to elevate ourselves to just feeding, from just feeding ourselves, to elevating it to being mindful of what we do and how we take things in. It's intentional and it's personal. You should, later on in the Parsha, it says, go further and tithe, right? Tithing, if you're not familiar, it's giving 10% to the poor. 10% in the context of this Parsha, 10% of our harvest and leaving it to the poor. In the beginning, it's a retelling. They're all tied together. The story also, this Parsha also has a retelling of the Exodus from Egypt. And they're all related. I gave you this inheritance. I took you out of the land. I did all of these things. And God is doing the Saving Private Ryan. God is telling us, earn it. You didn't do anything yet to deserve this amazing gift. So earn it with your future actions. Earn it with your mindfulness and the way you take care of the land. Earn it with the way you take care of each other by giving 10% to the poor. By making sure that you don't eat all of the first fruits, you leave them over to God as a symbol that you don't own it, you're the caretaker of it. Our privilege and position are not for us alone. We have to learn mindfulness of what we're doing and gratitude for what we have. That's owning it. That's earning it. Right? And this idea of mindfulness, this idea of earning it, really gears us up for the next couple of weeks of what we're going to be going through. Right? I said 2 weeks from now, blah, 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 right? But 3 weeks from now, right here is what? Kol nidre. When we don't eat, when we don't drink, when we stop all of those things, right? Because we're more than beasts. We don't have to do it all the time, right? We're showing God, and we'll talk more about this as the holidays come, but by going without food and drink for 25 hours, we're saying to God, right? You ever wonder why we do it? Why we fast? Why we don't eat or drink? It's not because it's healthy. I know intermittent fasting is all the rage, but not drinking for a day is not healthy. It's to say to God, I need water to survive, but I can go a day without it. How much more so can I go without sinning? I'm trying to earn this. We're going to read who by fire, who by water, all of those things. And we're going to have to be like at the end of that movie, we're going to have to earn our place in the book of life, our place in the book of comfort, a place in the book of prosperity. That's what it's about. It's about being mindful of the way we do things. And it's about remembering the gifts that we are given. Shabbat Shalom. Mark, we have 3? 5. Whoa, it's a party online. All right. So then we have enough for a minyan. So we're going to do Baruch Hu. So please rise as you're able. On page 28 for the Baruch Hu. Baruch Hu et Adonai HaMevorach. Baruch Adonai HaMevorach Leolam Vaed. You may be seated. Umavir yom umevi laila umabdil ben yom uvein laila Adonai tzvaot shemo El chai v'kayam tabid mochaleinu leolam va'ed Baruch atah Adonai hamari v'aravim. You know what? Let's read together on page 29. Top of the page. With constancy, you have loved your people Israel, teaching us Torah and mitzvot, statutes and laws. Therefore, Adonai our God, when we lie down to sleep and when we rise, we shall think of your laws and speak of them, rejoicing always in your Torah and mitzvot. For they are our life and the length of our days. We will meditate on them day and night. Never take your love from us. Praise are you, Adonai, who loves the people Israel. Ki hem chayenu v'yorech yameinu uvahem nehege yomam v'layla v'yavatecha al tasir mimenu leolamim Baruch atah Adonai ohev amo Yisrael. Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Ve'ahavta et Adonai Elohecha bechol levavcha uvechol nafshecha uvechol meodecha vehayu hadvarim ha'ele asher anochi mitzavecha hayom al levavecha v'shinantam levanecha v'dibarta bam B'shivtecha b'veitecha uvelechtecha v'derech uv'shachbecha uv'kumecha ukshartam leot al yadecha v'hayu letotafot b'neinecha uchtavtam al mezuzot beitecha uv'isharecha. Leman tizkeru v'yasitem et kol mitzvotai v'yitem kedoshim le'Elohechem ani Adonai Elohechem asher hotzeiti etchem me'eretz Mitzrayim liot lachem le'Elohim ani Adonai Elohechem Adonai Elohechem emet. We're on page 32. Daily you renew our souls, restoring us as you redeemed our ancient nation Israel from slavery to freedom, from sorrow to triumph, blessing our people with the springtime of its life, to be renewed by all of us each year. Healer of our wounds, holy God, do not abandon us to enemies who threaten, to tyrants who deny your sovereignty. Into your care we commit our souls now as in the past, sustained by your truth, embraced by your love, inspired with hope for the future by your faith in us. Beloved are you, Redeemer of the people Israel, whose faithfulness in ages past assures our future too. Umalchuto v'ratzon kibel alehem Moshe v'nei Yisrael achanu shira v'simcha rabba v'yamru chulam mi chamocha ve'elim Adonai mi kamocha nedar bakodesh norati lot osef ele malchutcha ra'u vanecha כי HaYam לפני משה, זה אלי ענו ויאמרו, אדוני ימלוך לעולם ועד, ונאמר, כי פדה אדוני את יעקב, וגואלו מעט חזק ממנו, ברוך אתה אדוני, גאל ישראל. Help us, Adonai, to lie down. We're on top of page 33. Help us, Adonai, to lie down in peace and awaken us again, our sovereign, to life. Spread over us your shelter of peace. Guide us with your good counsel. Save us because of your mercy. Shield us from enemies and pestilence, from starvation, sword, and sorrow. Remove the evil forces that surround us. Shelter us in the shadow of your wings, O God, who watches over us and delivers us, our gracious and merciful ruler. Guard our coming and our going. Grant us life and peace now and always. Spread over us the shelter of your peace. Praised are you, Adonai, who spreads the shelter of peace over us, over all his people Israel, and over Jerusalem. Ushmor tzeiteinu uvoenu l'chaim shalom yatav olam ufros aleinu sukat shalomecha baruch atah Adonai hapores sukat shalom aleinu ve'al kol amo Yisrael ve'al Yerushalayim. We're on the top of page 34. V'shameru b'nei Yisrael et ha-Shabbat la'asot et ha-Shabbat lidorotam berit olam ay beini uvein b'nei Yisrael oti le'olam ki sheshet yamim asa Adonai et ha-shamayim ve'et ha'aretz u'ayom ha'shvi'i shavad vayinafash Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah ve'amad v'rachoteh v'amlich malchuteh v'chayechon v'mechon v'chay l'chol Beit Yisrael ba'agala u'bizman kari v'imeru Amen. Yehi shmei rabbah barach ve'lamul me'ol maya Yisbarach v'yishtabach v'yitar v'yitarmam v'yitnaseh v'yitadar v'yitaleh v'yitaleh shemei l'kedusha brichu le'elah mikol berchata v'shirata tushbechata v'nechemata Damiran be'alma v'imru. Amen. The silent Amidah begins on page 35 through page 38. This is traditionally a standing prayer, but please rise as you're able. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael, ve'yimeru amen. Ose shalom bimromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu, ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imeru. Amen. Please rise as we turn to page 51 for the Aleinu. Aleinu l'shabeach ladon hakol, lateit gedula leotzer breishit, shelo asanu kagoye aratzot, velo samanu kimishbechot adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol amonam, v'anachnu korim, umishtachavim umodim, lifnei melech, Malchei Hamlachim Hakadosh Baruch Hu. Kakatu b'toratecha Adonai yimloch leolam va'ed v'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz vayom hahu yihyeh Adonai echad u'shemo echad. You may be seated. We turn now to page 80 for the Psalm of the Season of Repentance. It's Psalm 27. It's recited every day between Rosh Chodesh, between the first of the month of Elul through Yom Kippur. A Psalm of David. Adonai is my light and my help. Whom shall I fear? Adonai is my strength of my life. Whom shall I dread? One thing I ask of Adonai, for this I yearn, to dwell in the house of Adonai all the days of my life, to behold God's beauty, to pray in God's sanctuary. I will bring God offerings with shouts of joy, singing, chanting praise to Adonai. Do not hide from me. Do not reject your servant. You have always been my help. Do not abandon me. Forsake me not, my God of deliverance. Teach me your way, Adonai. Guide me on the right path to confound my oppressors. Yet I have faith that I shall surely see Adonai's goodness in the land of the living. Hope in Adonai. Be strong, take courage, and hope in Adonai. Lulei ha'amanti l'rapatuv Adonai be'eretz chaim. Kaveh el Adonai chazak ve'amet shlibecha v'kaveh el Adonai. In just a minute, we're going to say the Mourner's Kaddish. You can do it on page 82, or you can do it on page 52. In the HaYam community, this week we commemorate the yahrzeits of Max Beck, father-in-law of Florence Beck, Bernard Weiner, father of Myra Weiner, Eugene Maitland, father of Myra Maitland, Samuel Lebman, father-in-law of Louis Lebman, Alfred Hirsch, father of Eva Lowe. May all of their memories be for a blessing. Although, as all those who have a need or desire to say the Mourner's Kaddish, please rise together as we'll say the Mourner's Kaddish on page 52 or 82. Yisgadal v'yisgadash shemei rabba, be'alma divrach yirsei v'yamlich machusei, v'chayechon v'yimechon v'chayei d'chol beis Yisrael, ba'agala uvizman kariv v'imru amen. Yehei shmei rabba mevorach le'olam omei omaya. Yisbarach v'yishtabach v'yispa'ar v'yisramam v'yisnasei, v'yisadar v'yisaleh v'yisalal shemei d'kudisha brichu. Le'elam mikol berchasa v'shirasa, tushbechasa v'nechemasa, Damiran be'alma ve'imru, amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru, amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu yaseh shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael ve'imru, amen. Just a couple of announcements. Slichot next Saturday night, 7 p.m. on Zoom. Be there and be square. Musar classes will resume in November. There's no ritual or board meeting in October. The Breeze has a full page ad. The Breeze has almost a full page that has our ad in it, an article that Miriam submitted. So thank you to Miriam for all your hard work with the Breeze. What else? Tomorrow after services, we're changing the Torah covers to the High Holidays covers. So if people can stay after for Kiddush, we'll need some help with that. Save the date. To see High Holiday schedule, check the Migdalor or the website, congregationamhayam.com, and on our counter in the lobby. Any other announcements? Kiddush. Right, let's do that. Yom HaShishi, Vaychulu HaShamayim V'Haaretz, V'chol Tzva'am, Vaychalim B'Yom HaShvi Melachto Asher Asa, Vayishbot B'Yom HaShvi Mikol Melachto Asher Asa, Vayivarech Elohim et Yom HaShvi Vayikadesh Oto, Ki Vo Shabbat Mikol Melachto Asher Bara Elohim Lasot. Savri Chaverai, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, Borei Pri Hagafen, Baruch Atah Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam, Asher Kiddishanu b'mitzvotav v'ratzavanu v'shabbat kodsho be'ahava uvrason hinchilanu zikaron l'maaseh v'reishit ki hu yom techila l'mikra'e kodesh zecher liyetziat mitzrayim ki vanu v'acharta ve'otanu kidashta mikol hamim Shabbat kodshecha be'ahava uvratzon hinchaltanu Baruch atah Adonai mekadesh haShabbat. Sorry? No. Shabbat shalom, everybody. Shabbat shalom.